Last year, I made the mistake of driving a TVR Tuscan, a brand that's been special to me since my mum owned a bright purple TVR Chimera. Since driving the Tuscan, I knew I had to have one, but the timing couldn't have been any worse. They're now eligible for import to America, and prices are shooting up. I found one at auction, but it went way over my budget. I got offered the perfect spec I always wanted, but it was way too expensive. Then, out of nowhere, one popped up that I could potentially afford for one very special reason. So I went for it. I bid, and I won. There's just one problem. My mates Ben and Will have no idea. I told them that I had missed out on the car, but really, I've been hiding one of my dream cars from them. So I hatched a plan to surprise them and reveal one of my ultimate dream cars. I'd won the auction on a Saturday, but the car needed to be collected on Monday. There was one problem though. It was 2 hours away and I needed to form a plan to get a lift without raising any suspicion. Luckily for us, the day after, Ben, Will and I would be attending an event just a little further north. So with the plan in place, I asked Ben for a lift, which I claimed was to collect a Land Rover Defender for a friend, who's then going to pick it up from us at the event. However, when we arrived at the collection point, Ben wasn't expecting this.
Oh, it's him.
Why are you filming me?
Is this your TVR? Did you buy a TVR? Did you actually buy a TVR? Is that actually your TVR?
Yeah. Is it actually?
Yeah. Yeah, I said we have to bring a job pack. It's for this.
Ah, and did you bring before?
No.
Okay, perfect, yeah. There's a TVR here. Where's the Defender, man?
No, it doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't exist. That was a lie. Oh.
Feelings?
Yeah, no, very happy.
This is one of your dream cars, right?
We were genuinely since the day we drove that car, I have not stopped thinking about one. Like genuinely, I think about it once a day.
I have to say a massive thank you to Toby at New Look Detailing, who kindly went and collected the car and secretly stored it for me. If you need any detailing work in the Midlands, go check him out at the link in the description.
Right, we've got to see what Will thinks now. See him in the morning, he has no idea.
I'm really happy for you. This is sick.
I kept wanting to say something throughout the day.
Yeah, you've been actually surprisingly quiet about it.
Yeah.
And then we asked you earlier, did you win it? You went, no, whatever. It came across really genuine, so yeah. No, this is so cool. I love this.
With one reveal complete, we woke up early to beat Will to the event and hide the TVR in plain sight, hoping he would think that someone else had bought the car and brought it to the event.
Good morning.
Hi, fancy seeing you guys here. Yeah, hi. It was either this or the Clio, really. But
Both
I think
yellow.
The Clio, they would have said, go straight on, mate. Just go straight on.
Is it?
Is it? That's quite upset. That's upsetting. It's sort of like seeing a girl you were chasing, and then you've seen her with another man. So that was up for auction, that car, quite recently actually. It's quite hot off the press, I'd say. And Edmund's like, I'm gonna bid. I came in literally yesterday, basically. I came in yesterday and said, did it happen? And he said, I chickened out, and it sold for like ridiculous price.
Like
right?
good money, yeah. Like cheap money. It's quite cold though. I might get a jumper out though.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, but-
You bastard! What the?
There you go.
I would have no idea that was happening. I saw how much it sold for as well. Bastard! Oh my shit! When you said yeah, sad, I was like, okay, I just thought nothing of it. It's just sad. What the?
It was being horrible.
I was not prepared for that this morning.
Yeah. No, yeah. We'll blur it, but I'll say to you the number, how much the previous owner spent. You blur this. He spent pounds keeping us on the road.
Now.
It's
Now, well. There's going to be so much bleeping there. Sorry, whoever's editing this.
So here it is, my new to me 2003 TVR Tuscan 4 litre. Now I don't blame you if some of you don't know what you're looking at or don't know why you should care, but let me explain it to you. TVR, an English manufacturer, building cars from scratch with their own engine. This was their first ever full engine, straight six, making 360 horsepower, but that's not the impressive part. The impressive part was when these cars were new, they were £40,000, which was about the cost of a Boxster 3.2S. So your low-level stuff.
Yeah.
What this competed with was the 996 Turbo and the Ferrari 360 Modena. They were way below the pay grade, but competing with the top of sports cars at the time. These are so ridiculously fast, it is amazing.
They're very, very light, right? Everything is a fiberglass or a plastic or a glue or a paper. Everything's made out of the lightest materials possible.
1,100 kilos this car weighs and has 360 horsepower, paired with no traction control, no ABS, no nothing. The reason for that being that Peter Wheeler, the owner at the time, said putting ABS and traction control in would promote unsafe driving. He said, you don't get any of that, so let's keep yourself on your toes, yeah? And when we drove this car before, I'd always loved how they look. They look unlike anything else on the road you've ever seen. And I wasn't expecting to be blown away by the performance or the driving, but it is fantastic. This car drives unlike anything else I've ever felt in my life, and I had to have one. The colour, so I'm not 100% sold on it, if I'm honest.
But I will say, it's a little bit Marmite, the colour, but it is a TVR.
Yeah.
You can get TVRs in black, you can get them in white, you can get them in grey, but that isn't what it's about.
It needs to be.
This is exotic.
Yes.
It needs to be an exotic, wild colour because it's a wild car.
And it comes, you know, this is a very exotic colour. It's from a very exotic car, in fact. Some of Vauxhall Astra.
Yeah.
This
is I call it the LVR. This is the dom dee dee dom dee dee dee.
It really is. So the colour I love, the one that I want, the one that we drove, chameleon blue, known by many as swordfish blue because of the movie. I've been doing some research and there's a very interesting story about that car in that movie, but those cars are now the most sought after colour because America never got the Tuscan. They're just starting to get them in now. They want the one that they saw in the movie. Those colour cars are trading for 40, 50,000 plus. I'd love to own one in that colour, but that was not how much this was. It wasn't even half of that much. There's a very good reason for it. Done about 200 miles in this car now, which for most TVR owners would be, you know, a good job, a really good praise. They go, whew, not this one. I'll show you why this one's so special. A lot of you will know by now, but never gets old. It genuinely never gets old. If I sit in here, you'd expect for it to be a homebrew built English car. There'd be lots of stolen switches and parts used from vans and all that sort of stuff. Even the McLaren F1 had bus tail lights on the car. But in here, everything is custom. Everything is either aluminium or this beautiful machined brass. Look at this. These are the air vents for blowing air where you'd like them. Machined out this beautiful brass. It's amazing. Everything is custom. Everything is one-off for this car. They didn't reuse anything. So if I turn the key on, awaiting data, it's got a full motorsport dash, 151,900 miles. That is confirmed correct. This was a original owner car from who I bought it from. One guy owned it the whole time and put 150,000 miles on it. The thought that they're unreliable, he spent some money. I'll talk about that in a bit. It is a little bit of Trigger's Brun though. I have the invoices from this car. This car has been to one dealer its entire life. So this car was £40,000 when it was new. The previous owner has spent £63,000 keeping it going. It's had
over its whole life.
Over its whole life. It's had 2 engine rebuilds. Now, if you know TVR Tuscans, you will know they need engine rebuilds. The engine is incredibly capable and very, very good, but they do need engine rebuilds. Around about every year, 8 years or so, it seems this one's had one done. So it had one after the first 8 years, and then one after the 16 years.
Right.
It's been 8 years.
Oh, so we're due, are we, on the maintenance schedule?
We are. So
TVRs prior would have used, they used like Rover engines, that sort of thing. They used V8s and whatever else. And then they went, you know what?
From scratch.
I think we make our own engine.
Yeah.
That's a little British company in Blackpool. And it was a great engine, but yeah.
So you have the original ones, which are 3.6 litres. This is a later 4 litre, and then you have the 4 litre S, which is a bit hopped up. So this is just a non-S 4 litre. It's also had a full new chassis. They're built on like a ladder space frame type chassis, so the body just comes straight off. It's just fiberglass that pops off of the chassis. Those outriggers and those pieces of metal, they tend to disintegrate, and you can just buy a full new chassis. So this car has had a full new chassis and 2 different engine rebuilds.
So it's
Trigger's Brun is what this car is. But regardless of that, the condition that the previous owner has kept it in for 151k, I think is genuinely incredible. I've got the number of the previous owner. He is a hero. I'm going to speak to him. probably get in touch with him. We might even go and visit him in a future episode. But what a hero of a man.
If you told me it was 150, obviously there are a few. There's like a little bits of paintwork, little few creases and scratches and whatever else. But I'd expect a 150k mile car to be absolutely peppered, especially a TVR.
Yeah.
A TVR should be peppered in stone chips. The seat's a little bit worn, but other than that, you would not think this has. If someone told me it was 50,000 miles, I go, that seems perfectly normal.
I don't have it here, but I will overlay it. I also have in the history the build sheet that he optioned. So it says, custom order tropical green from Vauxhall, please. And then can I have green hide over champagne leather and all that sort of stuff. But cooler than that is that this is a 2003 car. The previous owner, he owned a Tuscan before that.
Okay.
When they came out in 2000, he had one. And just 3 years later, he part exchanged it when he built this. In 3 years, he'd put 42,000 miles on it. So this man, who I do know, but I'm not yet sure if he'll be on camera yet, he did nearly 200,000 miles in TVR Tuscans.
He's got to be one of the highest, like in terms of experience in a Tuscan, outside of maybe someone who works at TVR. Yeah. He's basically a research engineer.
Yeah, he genuinely is. A lot of you might have dailies that have 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 miles on it, so it's not that big of a thing. But remember, no traction control, no ABS, 360 horsepower going to the rear wheels through a homemade chassis. These cars are known for being written off so incredibly much. So much so that when I called the insurance to insure this car, he said, has it been written off before? I said no, and he went, wow, that's actually quite impressive. And then said, just so you know, the insurers don't like insuring these cars because how many people crash them, it's probably going to cost you quite a bit. So cool thing about these, they're actually a Targa. Not only a Targa, so this whole piece comes out, your back glass comes out too.
Now, the Targa thing, perfectly normal. Makes sense. That's a solid idea to come up with. Who then said, all right, what about if we took the rear glass out?
Why not?
I want to know what else was suggested in that meeting.
Windscreen. Let's get rid of windscreen.
Take it out. You know what? Have a wheel off at the same time. It's like, what was too extreme for TVR to say no to? The rear screen out is mental.
Yeah. Now I did try and take the top off at some point earlier, but I think it's either been bonded or it hasn't been off in so long that it's really hard to get off. It should. You undo a clip here and lift the back out. It doesn't want to go, and I don't particularly want to snap it. So for now, I'm leaving it. I'll wait until Trevor, our landlord, who's a TVR specialist in a different life, comes over and gives me a hand with it. But I will say, incredibly spacious. Have a look at this boot. Again, because it's made out of fiberglass and newspaper. That's just a cavern. Let me just allow me to move all my stuff out here. That's just infinite boot space. I reckon 6 or 7 golf bags you get in there. Also, fuel filler there, we talked about this before. Fuel filler there and electric boot that works when you push that in. So there's a lot of electrical issues you do not want to deal with, but so far I've seen no issues with.
You'll notice at the back of a Tuscan there's not sort of in a traditional place, there are no real lights where you'd expect them. These are indicators?
Those are the indicators.
Are they nothing else? They're just indicators?
No, they're just the indicators.
Just indicators, then your brake lights and other some such as
your running lights and reverse.
Yeah, and then odd sort of motorbike style exhausts.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's just so strange.
It is. There's nothing normal about this car, and I said it in the video when we drove this car, I don't like English cars for this reason, and I don't like cars in general that are cool because they don't work. Because it's like, it's got so much character because it's always braking. No, that's a bad car. But I am willing to live with it on this because of how fantastic it is to drive. And speaking of, let's go for a drive. But actually, I want Will to start.
Oh.
Yeah, I want you to have a go.
Okay.
This car is incredibly loud. Not only that, the radio is terrible. So I've been relying on normal headphones to listen to music. The issue with that is that you can't then hear the car. That's where this week's sponsor, Raycon, and their bone conduction headphones are an absolute game changer.
They don't sit in your ears, they sit just outside your ears. So they send sound through your bones rather than blocking your ear canals. Even if you drop a tool or there's a weird noise from your engine, or as usual, Ben is probably trying to get my attention. It is the perfect balance of safety and sound because you're not closed off from your surroundings. It makes them really practical for working out or just getting things done in the garage.
These are built for the long haul. They've got 13 hours of battery life and they have IP68 waterproof and dust proofing. Whether it is sweat in the gym or grease and dust on the driveway, they can handle it. Plus, the no bud fit means they never slip or fall out no matter what you're doing. I'm dizzy.
The best part is that Raycon gives you premium performance like the big audio brands, but at half the cost. There is a good reason why 3 million customers already love Raycon, and they even come with a 30-day happiness guarantee.
So I'm listening to music right now and I can still hear myself talk, so it's all good. Right now, you can get these for 15% off by clicking the link in our description or going to buyraycon.com/2deadcbc and get 15% off your entire order. Thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring us. There is a reason that I wanted Will to drive this, because when you're in the passenger seat, you kind of miss out how weird everything is, how weird it is to drive, how special it is, in a very strange way. So Will never got to drive the other one before, and I've driven this car a couple hundred miles already. I'm pretty used to it now.
Oh my god, that was so close.
So I thought you should have a go at this.
I have always wanted to drive. Wow.
It's great. When you're at 60 or 70, it's just as twitchy.
It's just as
So
twitchy.
you're just going.
I really wanted to buy one of these, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and I chickened out.
Yeah.
What you paid now, I think they were roughly that for like a
good
lower
one,
mile
a really
one.
good one.
I was like, you know what, I could do that, and it's a TVR, but I chickened out. I chickened out because I thought it would be too difficult, it would be too weird, it would be too annoying to own. So
Let it eat. He's very fast. When you drive like an E46 M3,
Yeah.
a 6-cylinder, 3 and a bit litre, it's kind of similar. It makes 330 horsepower.
Yeah.
But the torque it makes is much lower.
Yeah.
Whereas this engine, it is torquey, this thing.
But also, it sounds like this is what got me onto Tuscans before, and why I've always kind of liked them, is the noise it makes is unlike anything else in this century.
No,
basically.
it is a 60s Le Mans car.
It sounds like an old V12 or an
Yeah.
old Le Mans. Oh man.
It is an old race car, is what it sounds like. When you get it warm, this car I think has got a completely stock exhaust system, but when you go for there is a big bore exhaust, which is again only a thing that English people would call exhaust. It increases the size by about 2 mil, not particularly much, but when you have the big bore exhaust, and perhaps your catalytic converters
Have left.
are on holiday, you get proper crackles and pops on the downshift. No pops and bangs, but just that old school bang, bing, bang. Oh, it's so good.
Also, a decent amount of room. It's
Yeah.
not like supercar-esque. I've got the pedals are a bit strange.
Yeah, they
the
are.
pedals are kind of they're over there. The wheel is pretty in front of me, which is impressive.
Yeah.
That's well done, TVR. But the pedals are kind of over there. But they're weird. The clutch pedal's mounted on the bottom,
Yes.
so it feels like you're like opening a bin or something.
Again, because this is an English car, all of the modifications tend to be people's names.
Yeah.
It's the Steve Jenkins this mod.
Oh, you got a Kev shifter. Lovely.
Literally that. So there are a set, I forget the name, but they're a set of curved pedals for the brake, for the clutch and brake, which apparently make it a lot easier to live with. But another thing that they deliberately did to save people, to stop people from crashing and dying, you will feel when you do a full pull, they deliberately made the throttle pedal nearly twice as long to save you from going, on a wet corner,
getting it all,
and just
okay.
getting it really wrong.
What's the film with Rodney Copperbottom in it? Everything feels a bit like that, where it's
Yeah.
all like metal and it's all a bit Great Gatsby almost.
Well, this is the thing. So you'll notice, look at your speedo gauge. It ticks like a clock.
I was gonna say,
it
I
doesn't
thought-
move smoothly.
yeah.
But that's deliberate. They very easily could have had it normal, but they chose to have it like that because it makes it feel weird. And your temperature and your fuel are not a needle. They're a cover that covers up the gauge, so it ticks up and down.
I was gonna say, I've been trying to look at it. It's almost impossible to read.
Now, I think that might be one of the few problems there is with this car, is with that needle. I've driven this in the slick a few times. It's rather scary.
Yeah.
It is simultaneously the most scary but most rewarding car I've ever slid in my life. It has so much grip that the moment you slide, it slingshots you. It power slides. That's
Also,
what it does.
the car looks quite big.
Please feel free.
But I won't be doing that. I'm not putting your car in a hedge.
It's so Do you like the shift lights as well?
I can't see it. There's so much to pay attention to in here. the power, it starts with a 3.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it would feel that quick, but again, cars aren't this light anymore.
In a simulation, it
No.
wasn't that far off a Lamborghini Gallardo.
Which is a car with 100 odd horsepower more.
Now, this car, I believe, I haven't looked under it properly, we're going to get it up on the ramp in a little bit, has nitron suspension on it.
It rides really well.
It rides amazingly well. Around here, there are some horribly bumpy roads. And in most of the cars we drive with coilovers and things, it's tough.
No, it's
This is
bumpy.
completely fine.
Stiff suspension is not necessarily good suspension.
No.
This is still compliant, and over these bumps, it's not that bad.
At the top, you get a proper induction noise, and then down low, you get the proper verbal.
Wow.
I am-
Also, everything sort of Everything's my brain.
I've been trying to work out what is TVR Tuscan and what is 150,000 mile TVR Tuscan issues. Your binnacle just kind of vibrates a lot.
I think sort of moving around. Nice.
I think we have. I think maybe one of the wheels is buckled. Supposedly to keep those wheels light, they were very soft. This bit here is one of the worst suspension parts we go through. On any other car,
that's fine.
It's just fine. It's really impressive.
I never looked at a Tuscan and thought it looks like a little bit of a B road.
No, but
they're sort of, never knew quite where they fit. But this, for little English back road, it makes sense for where it's built, but it's perfect. Sorry, there's a little bit slow speeds.
it's so quick.
Do you know what? I'm pleased you let me drive it. I still don't. I don't want to own one.
No, to be honest,
I don't want to do it. I think this is like the equivalent of when someone says, "Would you like to look after your niece for a while?" I go, "Yeah, that's great." And you go, "Well, I can give it back."
Please, I don't want this. I don't want this forever. I'm not an English car loyalist. If your name is Rory Mackay, you'll fight on the beaches that Triumph should have never died and that Rover was the best thing to ever live. In reality, most English cars are shit.
Yeah.
But when I look around this interior and then you look at a Sagaris, TVR was so close to breaking into that Pagani level of, like, look at the finish on it. Everything is so beautifully made and custom machined.
It's metal as well. It's not little bits of plastic or covers or...
And remember, this car has 150,000 miles. That seat is worn, but it's not what I'd expect of a kit car, essentially, at 150k.
I can see why. In the dry, it feels safe.
Yeah.
But it feels like the little bit of damp, or if the tyres are a little bit cold, you're off.
Yeah, you're done.
You're going off the road.
You will also notice we're now at about 60. The wind noise in here is about the same as having the roof off. So I think I'm just going to always keep the roof off.
Yeah.
Because it's about the same.
But in terms of like how they're... What's beeping at me?
That's your indicator.
That's beeping at me?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it,
makes
just
sense.
saying, just so you know your indicator's on. That's
Also,
the shit out.
in a car that's, can have its foibles to make the indicator, make it sound like a warning symbol. Bastards. I thought it was going to blow up.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it. Your oil pressure's gone.
Also, there's a tick.
Yeah.
It already ticks, and they went, "Oh, just add another one, add another noise."
How many clutches has it had its life?
50k. Like realistically, on a normal car, like let's say 2.
Yeah, no, I counted 6 so far.
Okay.
I lost count. Let me out of my car, thanks.
Is that how I get out?
Yeah, so you
Right.
hold that button, and then wait a moment. And now you can
Thanks,
out. So if there's a
TVR.
fire, just wait for it to...
Okay, as long as your battery doesn't get knocked out.
So we got the car into the unit and onto the lift to have a look underneath for the first time ever.
Right, the Tuscan's up on the lift. I want to have a quick look over it because I bought it from an auction, which means there's no way of seeing underneath it in the engine bay. Well, we still can't see in the engine bay, but we can at least have a look around and get a better look at the car. So first things first, we'll start on the wheel here. Firstly, definitely needs discs. You can see there is a big old lip on this, and you can kind of see if you look through here, it's got this like waviness. So the pad has been eating into the disc in like an uneven way. You can, I think, get that from like rocks in your calipers. They can cause that to go further in, or if there's an issue with the caliper itself. Calipers on these, AP Racing brakes.
That's cool.
Basically, everything on this car is motorsport derived. That dash panel is a motorsport derived dash panel. It has your oil pressure, your oil temp, your coolant temp, all that sort of stuff. AP Racing brakes. From memory, I think these are still, so these are the very iconic TVR wheels. They're called Spider wheels. They're 18-inch, you find them on the Tuscan, the Cerbera, the Sagaris, the Tamora, the T350, everything. They all came with these wheels. I love them. I like them a lot. I thought we might have nitrons, but I had a look under it with Bilsteins on these, which is why it's so kind of soft and supple. So I don't mind Bilsteins at all. They're nice. I will probably keep them unless I want to lower it a bit, which I probably do. Also, there could be some space. Supposedly, from the factory, these cars they wanted to go with a certain track width on the front. The government said, no, it's too close to the edge of the arch, push it in by 3 mil. Last minute, they had to do it. So for the correct geometry, they actually want to be spaced out another 3 mil. Also, look, Toyo Proxies, they're not the worst tire on earth. A little bit scary in this. I think it needs some Michelins or needs something nicer. So Brakes need an overhaul, tyres need an overhaul. Wheels have seen some stuff.
Yeah, there's certainly some daily driving curbing happening there.
Yeah, which is fine, sortable, easy. I'll be honest, I already did a mod. The centre caps, some of them were missing, so I replaced them the day after I got the car, because that annoys me. A centre cap missing is very annoying.
Tiny bit of damage there, little scuff that is not going to polish out. So again, always bear in mind the mileage of this car and how it's been used, but that's not that bad.
The honeycomb grille. So when this car was first revealed, that was one of the things that people kind of talked about a lot, the honeycomb grille here. You can get ones that have no number plate. I do have a new number plate for this car. This is the previous owner's car. That's his plate. I'm gonna speak to him and I'm gonna ask him if he'd like it back. He can have it back for free. That's his plate. I've got a new plate for this car.
This whole section is one, and just the cutout there that kind of looks like it's been done with a Dremel.
Yeah.
Really. But also, it looks like we have done it with the Dremel. That was Friday afternoon type thing. I think that's it. With TVRs, there are differences.
Yeah, there really
it's
are.
It's not all cut, like copy and paste. They're not all the same. There's not all just cut from a mold. It's like, well, Kev did that one.
It's not as good as when Trev did that one.
one.
Yeah. It's when you get up close, you can start to see the mileage of this car. So there's all sorts of dinks and dents and all that sort of stuff. But I don't care about that. Same on this side, we've got you know what? Yeah, I know you're not wearing gloves, but one of the most impressive lips we've seen in recent times.
Ooh, hell of a lip on that guy. That one's had some surgery done.
That is a big. That's maybe 2 or 3 mil of lip. That's quite chunky.
Previous owner said, "I paid for the disc, and I will use all of the disc."
Use the whole thing. More evidence of some maybe visitation to a wall or a curb here. So you will notice on lots of TVRs, especially the more rare flip paint ones, they'll just leave damage like this, because this is not a wing. This starts here, it goes the whole way along. This is not a bolt-off part, it's part of the chassis itself. So to do a localized paint repair on a flip paint is kind of impossible. So either you paint the whole thing, or you learn to live with it. And hence again, I don't mind it. Rear, same, we've got Toyos, matching Toyos at least. It does have new pads on the rear. Discs are pretty fine on here, but more importantly, Will, what's the status of your wheel on that side? Which way is it going?
Oh, he's going forwards.
LSD. Now, the LSD on this car, I think, is a little bit tired. It's done a lot of miles. I think it's probably due a rebuild, so we will look at rebuilding that, because that means it's not slipping as well as it should, and I need that for me. Slip-on motorbike mufflers.
These are thick TVR. That is like that is TVR-esque.
Yeah. So that's not a joke. They are bike mufflers. When you want to upgrade mufflers, you look at bike mufflers for it, because they just slip on, they clamp over, and that's it. These ones have seen better days.
They kind of there is like a lot of,
you can see, yeah. So whenever you on an exhaust, whenever you see this sort of black soot anywhere, especially when it's kind of pushing the way the air goes in the exhaust, that's the sign of a leak. Underneath it, the car's not actually very low, but it has seen some lumps. But again, I'm very impressed by the ride quality of this. I want to do nitrons, but again, I'm kind of worried about losing some of this suppleness.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no adjustability on this, which is, I would like to lower this a little bit. Don't want to go crazy, but the later Tuscans sit a little bit lower, the Mark IIs, and they just have a bit more of a presence, which I'd like to kind of match for this. Zip ties.
Zip ties, that's nice.
Now,
what is it holding on?
Again, unable to confirm whether that is just TVR or aftermarket zip ties. It's entirely possible.
It's just holding on a pipe that goes on the back of that piece.
Okay, that's fine. The hub?
I was going to say that I just looked at the hub assemblies on both sides, and they look like, again, a bit of a school project going on there.
It's just a block of metal with just kind of holes drilled so that it can accept ball joints. Now, I had Trevor, our landlord, I asked him to come in, he had a look, and he said overall, he gives it a very good score. He said, from memory, those top ball joints from a Fiat. And then on a Camaro, the bottom ball joints from an Audi.
Right. Unless it was built on a Tuesday, in which case they're maybe from another car.
Yeah, this is the interesting part. If you come over here, the battery for the car.
I was going to say, I just saw.
So that is an Anderson connector. So usually used, I believe, in boats for batteries. That is your connector, so that if your car dies, because remember, electronic boot, electronic doors, electronic everything, the batteries on these like to die. So they thought of that and said, cool, we'll put an Anderson connector under here so you can jump it. Except they break because they get covered in, mud and water and all that sort of stuff.
That's its cover.
Yes, it's cover.
That's it.
Yeah.
Which, I can take off with a light breeze.
There are some 10 mils up here. You take this off, the battery is behind this cover and it sits under this box here. But all of these kind of bars that you see, bar here, here, that's the chassis of the whole car. And that is what dies on these cars. I asked Trevor to have a look at it. He said what this is not a full replacement chassis. This is an original one that that someone has taken back to bare metal. They've cut, you can see here, so they kind of put a sleeve in it. They cut off any of the old metal, they put a sleeve in it, reinforce it, and you can see that in a few different places down there. He said they've done a very good job on it, and it'll be good kind of for future proofing, so I'm pretty happy with that.
What is fist hole?
Have a look and you tell me.
What is that? Is that an air filter?
That's the air filter.
Right.
So it has an air feed under the car. So if you look under here, Jay, you might be able to see there is some like AC ducting that goes up to a filter. So the car has an airbox. It's on individual throttle bodies, 6 individual throttle bodies. Again, motorsport vibes. And so that the car doesn't feed from any of the hot air from the radiator, it takes its cold air feed from here. Now, immediately I think, surely there's going to be water that's going in there. But it's so far, it's like a meter.
It would take
there.
quite a bit to suck that out. I mean, like, don't go driving through lakes.
No, but it's kind of cool.
Puddles should be fine. So that's ridiculous.
It's very cool. At the same time, I'm quite annoyed. Why is the floor getting all my induction noise? I'm not hearing any of that. I want to get that. Oil pan starts here, ends here. We as the occupants are somewhere here.
A dry sump.
It is a dry sump.
Because I just noticed there is that's the drain there, and obviously your actual, well, not really a sump is there. So obviously dry sump, you normally have an external tank, so it means you can drop the engine down a bit. Otherwise it would be really tall.
Engine can sit much lower. So yeah, we've got that there. We've also got here
cats.
Now, catalytic converters, obviously essential to life. We need those. We must keep those. But just a random fun fact for you: the catalytic converter starts here. There's a V-band clamp here. And then a V-band clamp here.
Oh, I wonder why they've done that.
They went, just do with that information as you will. The sound of this, I was trying to work it out, why does this car sound like this? It has true dual exhausts, so they don't ever meet. You've got 2 parts of the 6 cylinders, you've got 3 and 3. Those never meet. They always go together, dual out the back, and they go 3 into 1. Ooh. That's how you get that high-pitched race car noise.
There is a sticky, an unidentifiable sticky goo.
So they will put like a coating on the
like a wax oil.
Like a wax oil when they do the new chassis. So it could be the wax oil that's still on there to protect it. Gearbox is here. Okay, look at that braided line for the clutch stuff. It's just it's a race car, but with the body of an alien.
Also very small. Also, they look like, again, I'm assuming these are standard.
Yeah.
But they look like they came from like
Fiesta.
your average like power flow exhaust shop type of thing. But do people get rid of those?
I'm not. I think so. I think the usual thing is you keep the resonators, you do some decants or you do some sports cats, and then your motorbike mufflers out the back. Do you like the hangers that have been constructed?
Yes, they are certainly interesting. That is, I mean, it functions, doesn't it? It does function as an exhaust hanger. And then everything else, like this, it's so kit car.
Yeah.
These like A-arms, or they're not really an A, they're kind of an A, are very kit car, or rally car almost, motorsport in style.
The diff here, as we said, LSD, I believe they are rebuildable. There is quite a weep coming from there. It's quite oily. So that's going to be something I'm going to want to look into pretty soon, because look, a sports car without a working LSD is not a sports car. You see the Bilsteins here working. Also, quite not terribly big drive shaft, half shaft for that. Prop shaft goes from here to here. That's how long the prop shaft is on the whole car. Fuel pump, same, I think exact same fuel pump that was in our Camaro. I think I have a replacement one of those, so we can always replace that. And a fuel filter that goes off into places. I don't want to say it.
Looks pretty good.
I don't want to say it. It looks good. And it doesn't look terrible to work on.
No, it doesn't.
I'm feeling confident now. I was a bit worried when I bought this car because I didn't get to look around it. I wasn't there in person for the auction. So this is good. This is very good. Hold on. Sorry. This drive shaft must be from a different car because it has an ABS ring on it.
Also, this one also the same.
Yeah, so I don't think they're from this. You can see like the reluctor ring. It's got the reluctor ring over there. So unless it's for wheel speed sensor, which I don't think it picks up from there, I think they may be borrowed from another car. Cool, overall, I'm happy. Let's do one final drive with me driving.
Just before Edwin goes for his drive, I did spot one thing. Edwin said there was maybe a little vibration, right?
Okay,
so
yeah.
Here's how the wheels should look. Nice and round, perfectly round.
Like picture a circle.
Yeah, picture a circle, that's perfect. And then we got this, which is, I think that's probably hit it kind of comes out and it's quite flat there. So I mean, it's still holding air, I presume, but yeah, that probably needs rectifying.
Notoriously soft, these 18-inch Spider wheels, so might need another one. Might have to check. I'm going to check some of the other ones. Yep, there's another bulge there. Oh, you can feel it as well. Oh God, Yeah, no, that has... Yeah, no, that has one too. Driving around on a couple of ovals. I just happened to look back at the auction photos of when I bought the car, and they have the roof off. So they definitely haven't been sealed. So I want to see if we can get it off. Oh my God. It just doesn't want to go.
If I was a roof, how would I come off? How would I come off? Release the roof. To remove rear out first, front out last. Tuscan roof removal.
Yeah, no, I did see that. There's
Tuscan,
lots of actual
yeah.
Tuscan villas.
Sort of
with,
Tuscany.
it does live in here. Is that it?
Hang on. Yeah, there you go. Wow.
Ah, that's kind of cool. Right, and then the rear, I think, faces upwards. Yeah, okay. So you get the full boot still. So you get cool. Then now let's see what that does. So now I have a fact for you. I found it in the paperwork. Would you like to guess what the warranty for a TVR Tuscan was? 12 months of AA breakdown membership. It says, it comes with the base level of AA protection, but as your warranty, we have included 12 months of roadside assistance for you.
With the roof finally removed, we moved on to removing the rear window.
And then you just...
Also, sorry?
Yeah, plexiglass, it's not real glass. Yeah.
Sure. What's in the boot? My roof and my rear windscreen.
That's seen some better days,
Yeah,
if I'm
no,
honest. That might need to redo that.
Detached.
That's much cooler. That's cool.
Pioneer. Are they your only speakers?
Yes. So when you turn the radio on, you just hear because they're horrible.
You take your rear glass out,
And you hear.
With that, we got the roof and glass back onto the car, and then it was my turn to take my new-to-me TVR Tuscan out on the road.
So I mentioned in the intro that my mum once had a purple TVR Chimera. It's the reason that I have an affinity for the brand. I would probably hate it otherwise. But I've always dreamed of having my own TVR. The Chimera that we built on the channel was my attempt to try and own that. But after driving that Tuscan that we drove before, Oliver's car, in the perfect colour, a colour that I'd love to either repaint this or peelable paint, wrap it. I'd love to do that in this colour because that is the one thing that's not perfect to me on this car. I'm so happy that I own one.
So very fast.
It's so fast. It's so fast. I bought it and I was like, this will be like a 6-month thing. It'll be like a little bit for summer. And then we drove it back from Supercar Driver with Will in the Gallardo behind, and I went,
maybe a little longer.
I really like this. I adore this car already, and do you know what? I'm ready for the foibles that it's going to have. The previous owner's £63,000 bill, it scares me a little bit, but it's just steel pipes and fiberglass. Yeah. How hard can it be?
Also, this car's got 150k. You can use it.
Yeah.
You're not going, oh no, what if I hit 160? Oh no, you can just use this car as it was intended to be.
That is the exact reason why I wanted to bid on this car, because of the mileage. The mileage clearly put lots of other people off, but for me, it was the perfect reason to buy it. Did you have any idea?
I had no idea. Now I'm looking back at it, I should have had, you got there early, it felt fishy, but I didn't know what it was. I was like, there's nothing to be fishy about. I literally said to you, did you win that car? And you went, no, I chickened out. I just went, oh, okay. That's a shame, but whatever. And then, even when I saw the car in the car park, I was like, wow, that's so unfair. I can't believe, why would someone do that? Like, they bought the car right under your nose and they bring it to the same event. Yeah, I was stunned.
As I mentioned in the beginning, I'd been watching these cars sell at auction for anywhere from 20 for a cheap one up to 25 to 30. And the one that I really wanted, the Swordfish Blue car, 45 to £50,000 is what the seller wanted for that. This car cost me £17,000.
That's ridiculous.
Now, granted, there were some auction fees on top, which brought it up to just touching £19,000. But still, the story of this car, the mileage, all of it culminated in a car that I had to have, and I'm now very proud to say I'm the owner of a TVR Tuscan, and you'll see lots more videos. Hopefully we'll be in contact with the previous owner and get his story on how he put so many miles on this car, and we'll take it up to a specialist, see what they think, and get a clean bill of health. The only other thing left to do is rack up some more miles on it. Thank you very much for watching this week's video. Click here to subscribe, click here if you want to watch where Will bought his dream car. See you next week.